It's the book of Luke 21. It's the book of Luke 21, verse 25. It says, and there shall be, it says, there shall be a sign in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, discretion of nations with perplexities removed. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Makar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, and then Mashiach Kabashai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last one Kadash tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, wa Akim, wa Akwa, from I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of July the 26th, 2025 on this Saturday afternoon. And this is from RT.com, and it reads, it says that 6 people were killed in an attack in Iran in certain photos. It says the Pakistan-based jihadist group has taken responsibility for the deadly shooting. It says at least 6 people have been killed and 22 others wounded in the attack in the southeast of Iran on Saturday. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has said a mother of a 1-year-old baby was among the dead, according to local authorities. It says a group of 3 gunmen attacked a courthouse in the Islamic Republican Sitdown in Balochistan province on Saturday morning, killing and injuring building staff, including IRGC. In a statement published later in the day, a gunman started a shootout with the police and failing to sneak into the building, dressed as clinic. News said, citing the local authorities before being killed, one reportedly threw a grenade into the building, killing another member of civilians. It says that 2 other gunmen were killed in an ensuing firefight on the streets. According to the IRGC, the attack was found to have wearing a suicidal vest. It says the province where attack took place located in the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan. It's home to Iran's Balak Sunni minority. The area regularly sees deadly clashes between Iranian forces and armed groups. The Jas al-Balak Jihad group headquarters neighboring Pakistan, but also operated in Iran, has taken responsibility for the deadly attack in a statement earlier in the day. The group urged civilians to flee the area. And it says last January, Iran has learned strikes on Jas al-Adi, if I pronounced that right, headquarters in southern Pakistan, after the jihadist group declared responsibility for a suicide bombing that killed nearly a dozen Iranian police officers in the previous month. Once again, this is the book of Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity. Right, but these are proxy groups between these nations. And that's what we're seeing on a daily basis around the world. That's why we're seeing increasing of the stress of nations. With perplexity transformed. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose in heaven. Right, we're living in modern day times and seasons and every purpose in heaven, which is modern day biblical signs of the signs of times. And this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3, verse 8. And a time to love, and a time of HATE, and a time of war, and time of peace. Right, we're definitely living in a time of HATE, and in a time of war as well too. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? Proxy wars, nuclear wars, and economical wars, trade wars, and tensions between the nations, as we see on a daily basis that Yahushua spoke about, said these signs are going to occur. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things much first come to pass, but it is not yet. Matthew 24, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation. Right? Elam versus Elam, Ishmael versus IDF Edomites. These are examples we see in, division between the nations, which goes into ethnos. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. It's the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, and verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided, itself the kingdom will stand. Right? So you're going to have a kingdom within itself being divided, outside of another kingdom being divided against another kingdom. Just like it says in Jeremiah 51, verse 46, moderate ruler against moderate ruler. St. Mark 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. Right? So as we see, a moderate house being divided against itself, which cannot stand. Opposing sides don't agree upon the same thing. So that's why they say a moderate house being divided against itself. Now, if we bring out the second Esdras. Second Esdras, chapter 9, verse 2. It says, second Esdras 9, verse 3. I meant to say Slocky. It says, therefore, there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars people will. Why so we see an increase in earthquakes and uproars people will? Because I believe you had a day later, you had a 6.2 earthquake in the same area in the Macaulay Island. Because yesterday you had a 6.2 earthquake as of yesterday in the Macaulay Island. And a day later, you had another 6.2 earthquake in that same area a day later. So we definitely going to see the uptick of earthquakes in diverse places and the uproars people will as well too. Just like that incident happened over there in southeastern Iran. You had these 3 gunmen entering some type of business, some type of corporation building or something like that. And then I believe you had one of the leaders claim the attack. And I believe it's like 6 people were killed and 22 were injured. It was reported by some type of jihadist group, was formerly known by the Pakistan group, because they've been having clashes between the borders of Pakistan and Iran, southeastern Iran, and the borders of Pakistan and Afghanistan as well too, last time I checked. Yeah, this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 15. It says, for the sword of destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords and hands. Right, as we see the seditions among the nations. We see in Thailand versus Cambodia, that's heating up. We see what's taking place over there in the Gaza Strip. We see the resistance of the Palestinians going against the Israel defense force. What's that been going on for a very long time, which we're so used to that. And you've been having heavy airstrikes. You've been having heavy famines, starvations, humanity crisis over there in the Gaza Strip, throughout all those years and recently. The book of Second Esdras 15 verse 15, for the sword of destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another. That's what we see. Seditions among the nations, like it says in Luke 21 verse 25, of the stress of nations will replace you in one. Second Esdras 15 verse 16. For there should be sedition among men, invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor their princes and crush actions stand in power. Right, so we're seeing seditions among the nations, invading one another. We see it around the world. And we're seeing citizens rising against their leaders in power and protest. It's the book of Luke 21 and verse 9. It says, ye shall hear of wars and commotions. Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. And by anybody. Why? So we're going to hear increasing uptick of wars and commotion between the nations on a daily basis, despite the fact they're trying to ease the tensions, ease the tensions. But we're still going to have increasing wars and commotions on a daily basis. And this is the Heavenly Father. So we got the Son, Mashiach speaking through the Gospel of Luke. Luke 21 verse 10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So we're going to be seeing this increasingly as the days progresses on in these modern day signs of the signs of times, I mean to say. So modern day nation against modern day nation, modern day kingdom against modern day kingdom, which goes into Athens, as I mentioned once before. Luke 21, verse 11. A great earthquake shall be in diverse places. Right, so increasing earthquakes in diverse places, increasing famines, which we see what's taking place over there in Gaza Strip, West Bank, Palestine territory. Huge famines going on over there in the area. Because there's going to be a famine everywhere as well, too. Like it says in the book of Amos, the 8th chapter, it mentioned it. It says in pestilence, right, when it's pestilence, it's measles outbreak, cholera outbreak, listeria outbreak, and different type of various and pestilent plagues that we'll be seeing in these times. In fearful sights and great signs shall be in heaven. Right, so that's what we're seeing, increasing fearful sights and great signs shall be in heaven. That's only going to continue to increase. Yeah, once again, Ecclesiastes 3 verse 8. In a time to love, in a time to HATE, in a time to war, in a time of peace, right? It's time to live. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, in verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, that all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, so that's what we see in Thailand versus Cambodia, that's heating up. We see what's taking place over there in the Gaza Strip, West Bank, Palestine territory, throughout Western Asia. Nuclear escalation tensions are heating up. So we definitely see the Heavenly Father supporting that warlike mindset of these arms nations on a daily basis. So more military training, more military exercise drills, and more nuclear escalation tensions are heating up to the nations. Joel 3 verse 10, beat your plowshares and the swords and the pointy hooks and the spears, let the weak say strong. Right, so let the weak say strong, but these are arms and nations battle against one another. All that's going to lead up to the third world war. Revelations 11 verse 14. Then I'm closing out. Yep, Revelations 11 verse 14. The second will pass, behold, the third will come quickly. Right, the third will come. Right, second will pass, behold, the third will come quickly. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of this sit down lesson of the MOTB news updates as of July the 26th, 2025 on this Saturday afternoon. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashir, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Bokakadash, Barakathon, to the elders and apostles, Until next time, I will say Shalom.